31-year-old Jamie Lynette Yazzie lived in Pinion, Arizona in 2019. She came from a small town that is part of the Navajo Nation. Jamie was working as a nursing assistant. She was dating 27-year-old Trey James, a fellow Navajo Nation member. Jamie failed to show up for work on July 1st, 2019. 5 days later, with no sign of her, her mother reported her missing. Investigators took a closer look at Jamie's boyfriend, Trey James. They found that both Jamie and James were seeing different people at the time of her disappearance. James's sister told detectives she had received a Facebook message from Jamie stating that James had fired off 2 rounds and chased her back into the house. Jamie's brother told authorities he and his girlfriend had been drinking with Jamie and James the evening before she disappeared. He recounted that James had shown off a black .45 caliber or 9mm handgun he'd gotten for his birthday. In the days following Jamie's disappearance, James camped out at his aunt's house. Family members reported to investigators he was in possession of a handgun and was acting aggressive, nervous, and paranoid. Jamie's blood, suspected cleaning products, a pistol, a stained and partially burned mattress, and spent shell casings were found at the couple's shared home after 2 searches. James's family members told investigators the couple's toxic relationship had been punctuated by domestic abuse. His sister and aunt described James as being abusive and aggressive towards Jamie leading up to her disappearance. Jamie's co-workers told investigators that she'd been having problems with James as well. One colleague divulged that Jamie had sent her a picture of herself with a black eye the year before her disappearance. James's father also told detectives his son was responsible for Jamie's disappearance. Under questioning, he noted the couple's mutual infidelities, allegedly stated that his son had admitted that he messed up, and that Jamie had been messing around with other guys. This all led investigators believing James gunned down Jamie at the couple's home in the early morning hours of July 1st, 2019, following an argument about infidelity. Without a body, proving James's guilt was difficult and the case went cold for a short while. Then, in November of 2021, Jamie's incomplete skeletal remains were discovered at the Hopi Indian Reservation, which is just southwest of Pinion, Arizona. An autopsy confirmed, as suspected, that Jamie had been fatally shot, a gunshot wound to her head. James was questioned by investigators in January of 2022 and denied ever being rough with Jamie. He told FBI agents the last time he saw his girlfriend was when they were drinking at the couple's home with Jamie's brother and his girlfriend. He insisted she left with them. Finally, in August of 2022, Trey James was arrested in connection with Jamie's case. He was charged with taking her life. 30-year-old James was also slapped with an additional 6 charges: kidnapping, brandishing a gun, 2 counts of assault by strangling an intimate partner, 1 count of assault by suffocating an intimate partner, and 1 count of assault with a dangerous weapon. The Department of Justice had this to say in a statement on August 5th of 2022. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Arizona is committed to addressing the persistent violence endured by Native American families and communities in the state of Arizona, including by working with tribal nations to address the important issues of missing indigenous persons and the acts of domestic violence. Navajo Nation President Jonathan Nez also released a statement where he said, "We continue to pray for the family and friends of Jamie. With the recent development, we are hopeful that we are a step closer to providing closure for the family and they can continue to heal. Our law enforcement and criminal investigators continue to offer support to the FBI to bring justice for Jamie and her loved ones." James appeared in court for a detention hearing on August 8th of 2022. A magistrate judge ordered that he be held without bond pending trial. James has pled not guilty, according to his attorney, Roberta McVickers. James's trial is currently ongoing in October 2022. If convicted, he faces life in prison. On August 30th, 2010, Broward Sheriff's Office deputies responded to a call of a suspicious incident at 1386 Northeast 34th Street in Oakland Park, Florida. When they arrived, they discovered a man lying face down with a gunshot wound. The victim was identified as Alfred McMurray. Alfred's vehicle and other items of his were missing from the home. Investigators were able to collect forensic evidence from the crime scene, including items obtaining DNA from the culprit. Detectives conducted numerous interviews and did tests on the items, but were unable to identify a clear suspect. Alfred's 2006 silver Toyota Tacoma pickup truck that was stolen was found at a Lauderhill apartment complex in the 4400 block of Northwest 19th Street. Alfred's mother, June McMurray, had this to say about her son. From a little kid, he never met a stranger. Everybody was his friend. Alfred's girlfriend of 1 year said, "To know Alfred was to love Alfred. He was full of life, and he loved everyone he encountered." So for people to know there's people out there who have done something like this to him is not comprehensible. When I think of just the little moments, going out to eat, going grocery shopping, I'll never have that with him. His family will never have that with him. It's just a lot of sadness right now. I know whoever did this is somebody's child. I want them to know that although I have forgiven them, they still have to pay for their actions. In May of 2022, new information led investigators to identify a possible suspect, Aaron Michael Dobbins. A search warrant for Dobbins' DNA and subsequent testing found that his DNA matched the evidence gathered 12 years ago. Detectives determined Dobbins lived in Oakland Park during the time of the crime and knew Alfred through Dobbins' roommate. Investigators said that based on the information gathered and the evidence collected in this case, they believed Dobbins is responsible for taking Alfred's life. Dobbins was arrested in Hillsborough County, Florida on September 22nd of 2022. He was extradited to Broward County. He is being held without bond in the Broward County main jail. Investigators believe robbery could be the motive, but it's also possible to be drugs, as Alfred was a user. 18-year-old Devyn Gibson's body was found on September 20th of 2015 near Sibley Street and Rothrock Drive in Longview, Texas. An autopsy that was performed showed that Devyn had 7 gunshot wounds in total. Unfortunately, there were not any real leads for investigators, and the case went cold for some time. Then recently, new evidence surfaced that led to detectives taking 25-year-old Salon Bridges into custody in October of 2022. He also lived in Longview, Texas. Bridges had been booked into the Gregg County Jail and has been charged with taking Devyn Gibson's life. He was 18 years old when he fatally shot Devyn. We do not yet know if the two of them knew each other and why Bridges did what he did. Investigators have not revealed what the new evidence is that finally led them to arresting Bridges. In an interview, Devyn's father, Demetrius Watson, spoke about Devyn's plans before his life was taken. "My son was more advanced. He has a brother in Tyler going to school at Texas College, playing college football on a great level. He had planned to go to Tyler and be at that school with his brother. My son had the plans to be somebody. He wanted to go to college."